A spit take is a tried and true gag that's been around since the earliest days of theater all the way up to the most recent of sitcoms on television. Why would you do a spit take? Well, your character is sitting there drinking something. Somebody else says or does something outrageous, and your reaction is to spit out whatever the liquid is that you just got through drinking. It's usually going to get a laugh, especially if it belongs in that scene. A spit take.
Cut!
Now let's talk about the comedy potential of doors. I'm standing in a doorway, I'm about to walk through that doorway, the door gets slammed in my face, I get injured. But you don't see the injury. This is another version of the invisible threat. If you don't see the injury, you can jump to the conclusion that, yeah, somebody walked into that door, yeah, they got hurt, I didn't see it, so I can laugh. It's okay. Now, one thing about dealing with slammed doors, you've got the timing issues of two separate people. The person who slams the door shut and the person who walks into it, plus the additional sound that tells you, the audience, that somebody walked into that door on the other side. So we're going to take a look at that. One more thing. The slammed door. Now let's talk about tripping on stage. And we're not going to be tripping over anything in particular. We're going to trip over our own feet. This way, you can decide when and where you trip, whether it's on a carpeting, a throw rug, or an incidental that's on the floor. In vaudeville, this was known as another example of the invisible threat. A lackluster skit could be spruced up by engaging in this tripping on stage. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to trip over my own feet. I'm going to actually kick myself in the back of the ankle with my other foot. The on-stage trip. I tripped. Now we're going to walk over a chair. Here's the premise. I'm walking across the stage. There's a chair in my path. I put, in my case, my left foot on the front edge of the seat, step up, put my right foot on the top of the back of the chair, continue my forward motion. The chair falls over, relatively slowly actually, and I continue my strides across the stage. After that chair falls over, I can fall and roll on the floor, or I can keep on walking. It depends on the situation. But before you see this, I want to let you know, this is a dangerous gag. You should probably even call it a stunt. When you practice this, practice it with somebody who knows what they're doing. They can hold your hand and walk you through the entire process, because the worst thing that could happen, you could be on that top of that chair. It's ready to fall over. The chair goes one way, you go the other way, and you get hurt. So don't treat this like it's a walk in the park. This is a stunt. Learn from a qualified stunt choreographer, a fight gaffer, and learn how to do it with help, somebody supporting you. So here's how we walk over a chair. Let's knock over a chair. Now, why would you do that? Well, maybe you're nervous. Something frightens you. Maybe somebody very important to you comes on stage, you stand up, and the chair falls over. Here's why that happens. As I sit, my feet are underneath the chair. Not out in front the way you normally sit, but underneath. I'm actually sitting above my feet, so that when I stand up quickly, the backs of my knees hit the front of the chair falls over. So I'm sitting here, minding my own business. That startling thing happens, and the chair falls over. Let's knock over a bottle. Now, first, why would we do that? We might want to get a laugh by knocking over the bottle. I'm a nervous guy. I knock it over. Ha ha ha. I might want to add some tension, some drama to a scene by knocking over something that's very important or destroying somebody's very expensive tablecloth. Either way, I don't necessarily want to resort to a broad, sweeping gesture to knock over the bottle, because I might get caught. The audience might see it coming. So here's another way to approach that. Here's how I would reach and grab that bottle. Boom. To pour a drink. Now, I want to use that very same gesture to reach and not grab the bottle. I'm going to let my curved fingers hit the center of the bottle instead of wrapping around the neck. So my hand remains in that curved, soft gesture. As I reach, whoa, I'm going to hit the bottle with my fingers. It looks like I'm trying to reach for it, but instead, I'm hitting it. Either way, I'm right on top of it to grab the bottle and correct the situation. That's how you knock over a bottle. Sometimes. Now let's take a look at another door gag. I'm on stage this time, and the door is going to open toward me. I've had an argument with somebody, I'm going to have my final say, and as I leave, I'll yank open the door and smack myself right in the face. Or at least, that's the way it's going to appear. I've got a preset mark on the stage. It's about 18 inches from the door. So I open the door to that 18-inch mark, and the way I know I'm doing that, I've got my foot on the spike mark. When the door opens, I'm going to turn in that direction. It's going to appear to smack me. But because of the situation, I need a little sharper sound than, say, my foot hitting the door, because I'm wearing soft shoes. So I'm going to add a little sharper sound by using the crook of the cane to strike the door as I turn into it. So I'm here, I'm talking to whoever this person is that is annoying me. I've got my foot on my spike mark so the door can't open beyond that and actually hit me in the face. And as I have my final say, I yank the door open and leave. And as you can see, I got hit by the door. So now I'm going to walk into a pole, or a lamppost, or anything else that's on stage, a door jamb, anything that you could slam into for comic effect. And the way we're going to make this safe so that you can do it 8 times a week without injury is a 3-step turn. I'm going to walk away from the pole. I'm going to have my back to the pole so that the audience can't naturally assume, what's wrong with him? Why didn't he see that pole? And then as I turn, I will turn counterclockwise, step with my left foot, then my right, and my final step is with my left, which ends up right next to the pole. I'll slam into the pole with the pectoral muscle here and reach out with both arms. That'll tighten up the muscle a little bit. And that last step will have stopped my forward progress, so I'm not really slamming into a pole. Like I said, I could do this 8 times a week and live to tell the story. Let's walk into a pole. One more thing. I didn't see that pole. Now, we're going to slip up a stair. I didn't say trip, I said slip. Different foot action entirely. Why would I slip up a stair? Well, as Charlie Chaplin demonstrated in his movie 1 a.m., the character could be drunk. There's a show called The Impossible Years, where Dad, after his daughter's coming out party, the next day comes down the stairs, just falling down drunk. There's all sorts of opportunities where you can do something like this. So the slipping up the stair is actually letting your foot slip off the stairway. You can do that with 1 stair, or 2, or all of them. Let's toss and catch an open umbrella. and for no other reason than our character is happy or confident. Kind of like Gene Kelly in Singin' in the Rain, where he tosses and catches an open umbrella in the pouring rain. And by the way, if you've never seen Singin' in the Rain, you're not really in show business, and I wonder why you're watching this. So, I'm going to have to tempt the gods of theater because we have to open an umbrella. The umbrella, toss and catch. My tossing hand has to move out of the way and then come back out to grab the handle. And now before anything happens, I'm going to close up that umbrella. Let's talk about a gag called a toss and catch. Basically, you're throwing something to yourself. Why would you do that? Well, your character might need to give the appearance of being very self-assured, very in control, very able to handle just about any situation and look cool while you're doing it. So, my character is going to go out for the evening. So I'm going to use a little aftershave. I might want to grab a bite to eat before I go out, so I'm going to, no, I don't want to eat an apple because I just brushed my teeth. So the apple is out of the way too, but I can't go out without my cane, right? No, I don't think I need a cane tonight. So that's basically the toss and catch. But if I want my cane again, I got it. Thanks to the magic of theater.